Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Wassalatu wassalamu asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. Disyukur kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa taala atas segala karunia, rahmat dan hidayahnya, nikmat iman, nikmat Islam, nikmat sehat sehingga kita bisa berkumpul di sini dan tak lupa juga salawat serta salam kehadirat junjungan kita Nabi Muhammad SAW. Semoga kita mendapatkan syafaat dan tetap menjadi pengikut beliau hingga akhir zaman. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Oke, sesi ini adalah rangkaian dari talk show yang akan saya pandu dengan materi perdana dari teman dan rekan saya, partner di Bangladesh. Beliau adalah dosen di salah satu universitas negeri, State University of Bangladesh, Associate Professor Taslim Taher. So, saya kira perlu diperkenalkan terlebih dahulu. I will share screen first about your CV or the resume. Okay. Share screen. Okay, our guest speaker is Associate Professor Taslim Taher, is Department of Computer Science and Engineering, State University of Bangladesh. So I think for this CV right now, experience, I think a lot is from 2000 as a lecturer, and then until now is a lecturer and then to a researcher too. So I think we will discuss about his research until now. So we would like to invite our guest speaker, Mr. Taslim Taher. So this is a resume. I will, we will talk about the deeply about his research. Okay, I will stop share and then I think so to like a more to involve you to my audience. I think that you should give like maybe introduce yourself first, so the audience will be know about you. Okay, Mr. Taslim Taher, could you introduce yourself?
Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullah. Thank you so much, Dr. Aini and brothers and sisters, to give me a chance to present my research topic. So first of all, I wanna introduce myself. Me, Taslim Taher, working as an associate professor in the Computer Science and Engineering Department of State University of Bangladesh since this year. So previously, I worked in another university, Stanford University, Bangladesh, another private university, since 2004 as a lecturer, then as a professor. And recently, I switched my job to another university. So I am doing research as a PhD candidate in International Islamic University, Malaysia. So I am working on online risk among teenagers in Bangladesh. So during this research journey, I have contributed, say for example, to the knowledge of field. So as a result, I am one of the authors of some publications, so made in this field. So
nice. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Taslim Taher. So I think that we could like talk about your research. That I will share screen from my laptop or from you for your presentation.
I think if you allow me to present my topic in my laptop, then it will be better.
Okay. Please go ahead.
I still can't share my screen.
Yeah, still not appear here.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, you can. Oh, maybe I have to like
Host disable participant screen sharing.
I think that you can wait. Okay, maybe I will share for you. Okay. Does that appear in your screen?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you so
maybe.
much.
Okay, I will with the
Okay.
slideshow. Okay.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Take the link. No problem. Okay. So, as I have said, so I am working on online risks among teenagers in Bangladesh. So today I want to present for my research journey from the data collection to data analysis and through findings and implementations and conclusion stages. So first of all, before discussing about data collection phase, I want to present my theoretical and conceptual framework. Okay, thank you, Dr. Kuroto. So this is my conceptual framework. So I have found from the literature, demographic factors, psychological factors, social factors are directly influencing online risk and harm among the teenagers in Bangladesh. So that's the theoretical framework. That's what I have found in literature. It's the previous researchers' work on this topic. Previously, this work has been done on this topic. What's new from my side is investigating whether religiosity level is influencing online risk and harm among teenagers in Bangladesh or not. So I have found that some researchers have investigated religiosity level influencing pornography among teenagers in some countries, and some researchers found some researchers mentioned pornography as one of the online risks. So I decided from so for example from I decided from this perspective that let's investigate whether religiosity, whether this factor also influencing online risk and harm among teenagers in Bangladesh. In addition to that, religiosity level influencing online risk and harm among teenagers in Bangladesh, because some researchers found religiosity level influencing pornography, and some researchers mentioned pornography as online risk. It's just like this is my conceptual framework in addition to theoretical framework. It's just like, say for example, I like food, so nasi lemak is a food. So let's investigate whether I like nasi lemak or not. So these are the two hypotheses. So developed in that way. So the total conceptual framework is this.
okay.
Can we go to the next slide? Yeah.
Okay.
Since many researchers have researched on this and we have developed theoretical and conceptual framework, so we know the reality a little bit. So my research paradigm is explanatory, started by quantitative, followed by qualitative. So just like, say for example, when people get hungry, they eat food. It's the same reality all over the world. People in Indonesia, people in Bangladesh, people in Malaysia, it's the same reality. So when teenagers sit before computer, they are prone to online risk. Criminals attack them. This is the same reality all over the world. But say for example, when people get hungry, do they eat same food? Indonesian people, Malaysian people, Korean people, Bangladeshi people eats different types of food. Here the reality different. So first reality same. For that part I developed my quantitative phase. After that reality becomes different. The teenagers in Bangladesh got affected differently from teenagers from the developed part, developed countries, teenagers from other countries. But yes, somehow reality little bit same for all over the world. The teenagers are facing online risks, but teenagers in each region facing it differently. So last of all, I ended it by qualitative paradigm. So my research questions were, yeah. So my research questions were developed in this way. My 4 research questions were developed for my research. First, What are the factors regarding online risk affecting teenagers? It is the quantitative research question. Then, why teenagers are prone to online risk? It followed by the first research question. Why teenagers are prone to online risk? This is qualitative research question. Again, what are the factors that can help to reduce online risk affecting teenagers? This is
Quantitative.
yes. This is the quantitative. Yes, you got the point, right? And last question: how can online risk to teenagers be reduced? If it is qualitative research question. So quanti, quali, quanti, quali. So it's explanatory sequential research design.
So it's just mix quantitative and the qualitative.
Yes, it's called explanatory by Cresswell.
Okay.
Okay, second. Okay. So as the research question suggests, so my methodology follows the research question. First, it was quantitative research design mixed method and explanatory sequential design, in which the intent is to first use quantitative methods and then use qualitative methods to help explain the quantitative results in more depth, to get more richer data, deeper data. Yeah, deeper data. So for quantitative approach, the survey questionnaire was first pre-tested by the experts, the IT professors, 2 IT professors, and 10 doctoral students. So 12 experts first pre-tested the questionnaire to remove the biased question, ambiguous question, unclear question, leading question, so that the pilot test gets the pilot study runs smoothly. So the breakdown of the experts are shown in the first table. Afterwards, after reflecting the feedbacks and suggestions from the experts, then pilot study was conducted, and 50 respondents were approached to.
Okay. So
Yeah,
why the for first time is have to conducted by the expert? Is it to validate the questionnaire or what?
yeah, to validate the questionnaire, to remove the ambiguous question, to make the questions clear, understandable. Yeah, to remove the leading question, bias question, to remove the biasness, etc.
So it's mean that in a general that we should do like that too, like have to validate from the expert, or we can just like validate from the respondents directly, like we take the sample like 52 students. Is it possible or have to from the expert for the first time?
Yes, it depends on situation. Situation to situation varies. If you get experts, then I think experts, to get the expert opinions is better. It's safer. Stay safe, because they will help this, because their suggestions will help you to run the pilot test smoothly. Because after getting the feedbacks from the experts, I run the pilot test and I got all convex alpha all greater than 0.7, all all of my constants, yeah, greater than 0.7. And so for example, according to Julie Palan, so these constructs are okay to go with the actual test, to go with the final study.
Okay,
So
so
it's safer.
okay, please.
Yeah, so it's safer to get the comments from the experts first and then go to the pilot study to get the better result from the pilot study.
Okay,
And
so for
it will smooth the subsequent study smoother.
so do you think that that from the response from the expert, so we have to like if the expert give us like a comment and then we fix it or improve it, after that we share in the next for the sample size 50, or is the same, the question is the same as in the expert, when the expert spread in an expert. So the questionnaire that we spread to the sample size 50, is it the same or is already improved after we get from response from the expert?
Experts, yeah, it's improved. It's improved.
Okay. So
Updated.
it's
Yeah,
okay.
updated. Yeah, not the same question.
Okay.
Updated updated, improved questionnaire. You have to,
Oh,
it's better to imply them in the pilot study. To
okay.
use them, better questionnaire, to use the updated questionnaire, to improve, to use the improved questionnaire in the pilot study. Okay. So, since 45 items were employed by the researcher, so it is enough to collect data from 225 to 450 respondents. And the researcher used non-proportional quota sampling. So, with the for example, with
Sample
the
size.
target of achieving respondents, with the target of achieving respondents from 450 respondents, the researcher distributed 700 questionnaires. The researcher approached 700 respondents. Among 700 respondents,
Returned.
555 questionnaires were returned. 555 respondents responded to the researcher and returned back their questionnaire. So after data cleaning and
Yes.
after rejecting inappropriate responses or unfinished, incomplete responses, finally four respondents from 443 respondents, the responses were taken as the final responses from 443 respondents.
Okay.
So the response rate becomes 63.3%, and
Percent.
also it's validated through a number of research. The reference is mentioned. The references are mentioned below.
Okay. So, it's a quality.
So after conducting the quantitative research smoothly, the researcher went into the second phase, qualitative approach. So it's like the same like quantitative phase. First, interview protocol. You can say interview questions. So was developed and validated by the expert, just like
Yes.
expert validation in quantitative phase. Then piloted the interview questions with one informant, one rich informant who gave me rich data, deeper data. So neither the researcher nor the informant faced any difficulties during that pilot interview. The pilot interview went
Okay.
smoothly. So
Smarter.
after that, yeah, the researcher was encouraged to get enough information from the interview questions from the final study. So the researcher used purposive sampling using snowball technique,
Technique.
and 10 informants the researcher interviewed. After 10 informants, he faced saturation of data, repetition of data. So at this point, he stopped the interview. After interviewing 10 informants, he get the saturation of data, rich data, enough data, and the data was repeating. So after 10 informants, the researcher stopped and he felt it's enough.
So informant is the same as expert. So the person is the same.
No.
No.
Uh,
So what was
that
it the
person,
difference? The informant this.
so because that experts were expert in quantitative in developing quantitative
Oh,
questions, and
okay.
these experts are experts in quality, developing qualitative interview questions.
So the qualification of the informant, there is any qualification for this informant?
Oh, informant or not
Yeah.
expert?
No.
No, informants are same. Informants are same. Among the 443 respondents, the 10 informants were chosen by the researcher using purposing sampling using snowball.
Oh. So it's like a lecture. Who is the informants? So,
The teenagers,
oh, teenagers. So how
yeah,
you put like the 10 informants? Teenagers is a sampling.
because
So it just you take purposive
no,
sampling.
no, no, sample size 10 informants mean 10 teenagers, 10 teenagers. In survey, in quantitative research paradigm, in survey questionnaire, we call it respondent.
Oh, okay.
Qualitative approach,
It's
we said
named as
them
informant.
just same person, different terminology, yeah, informant, yeah, because
Okay.
they are not responding you, they are informing you, they are giving
Oh,
you
okay,
rich data,
okay,
information. So
okay.
their name is informant now, different name.
So, so the teenagers, there is like certain age or
Yes,
maybe.
Yes, from 13 to 18. From 13 years to 18 years.
Okay.
So here is my data analysis
Set question
phase.
and
After after conducting data collection phase smoothly, then the researcher went to the next step, data analysis phase. So here for the 4 research questions, the corresponding data analysis techniques were approached. The first research question was, what are the factors regarding online risk affecting teenagers? So to answer the question, path coefficient for structural model, path analysis was used because this is quantitative. So smart PLS was used.
yes, quantitative.
Yes. Second research question was, why teenagers are prone to online risk? This is qualitative research question. So to answer this research question, thematic analysis was used. The third research question was, what are the factors that can help to reduce online risk affecting teenagers? To answer the research question, also path coefficient for structural model, path analysis was used, smart PLS was used. And the last research question was qualitative research question. How can online risk to teenagers be reduced? To answer the research question, thematic analysis was used.
Okay. So findings.
Okay, yes. The findings. Um, so what are the factors regarding online risk affecting teenagers? My first research question was this. So the current study found that the researcher found that demographic factors, psychological factors, social factors, and religiosity level are related to online risk affecting the teenagers. Okay, next slide. My second research question was, why teenagers are prone to online risk? The study found that several risky behavior and practices conducted by the teenagers are one of the reasons that made them vulnerable to online risk. For example, not using privacy settings properly, making profile picture public, etc.
I think the same like here too. So I think it's a general
Yeah,
for the
right.
teenagers. Yeah.
So for that reason, I followed explanatory design. You are right. Good point. 80% quantitative and only 20% qualitative. So what are the factors that can help to reduce online risk affecting teenagers? The results of the study identified that social factors and religiosity level are significantly and negatively correlated with online risk.
So religiosity level that.
And social
So
factors.
social and social factors. Okay.
So the last research question was, how can online risks in teenagers be reduced? So this identified three main factors: teachers, peers, under social factors, and religiosity level, helping the teenagers in minimizing online risk. Because the researcher in the previous phase found from the quantitative study that social factors and religiosity level negatively influencing online risk, since they are negatively correlated with online risk. So these factors, social factors and religiosity level, under social factors specifically teachers and peers were found helping the teenagers in minimizing online risk. Demographic factors and psychological factors were found positively correlated, so they were found helping to increase online risk, not minimizing, but from quantitative phase. So here in qualitative phase, the researcher focused on the solution, not on the problem. So he worked on those factors who were found negatively correlated with online risk, who were found minimizing the risk, the results of the risk minimizing, online risk minimizing. So since in the quantitative phase, the researcher found social factors and risk level negatively correlated with online risk, so he further investigated those factors and he explored specifically teachers and peers under social factors and religiosity level, especially helping the teenagers in minimizing online risk. So peers were advised to avoid unnecessary conflicts among them, to develop healthy a better relationship among them, because they were found helping themselves in practical way. Friends were found helping themselves, helping the teenagers in practical way, and teachers were advised to know their students more, to study their students more. These were the findings from the qualitative study.
Okay, so you say that is a so these three is from the social factors from the quantitative, so it's finding in qualitative. So what
Yes.
about the family? So there is no factor about that, or is will not reduce or from this respondent? Yeah.
Okay, good point. In surprisingly, parents were not found helping the
Oh,
teenagers properly in quantitative study. So
quantitative.
the researcher, digger that in qualitative phase, and the teenagers mentioned that it's the generation gap, the
Mm,
generation gap, the bossy nature of their parents, and also their parents don't know about the internet technology, computer so well, so they were so they were afraid to share everything with them, because otherwise they would stop using internet for them. So they are not using internet, so they will suggest their children will also not using internet, and it will hamper their education and the opportunities from internet as well. So but family members, say for example brother, elder
yeah,
brother, cousin also found, yeah, these are the new factors that can be used to develop further conceptual model, further theoretical model.
oh,
Yeah, the researcher explored these new factors in qualitative study, which can be used in further in a new theoretical framework or new conceptual framework by future researchers,
okay.
quantitative researchers, future
Yeah,
quantitative researchers.
yes. So
So
the
yeah,
conclusion is,
Alhamdulillah, at last we read.
at last,
Yeah. So
okay.
during this journey, yeah, during this journey, the researcher further observed a lot of potentials, a lot of amazing people, beautiful people, and knowledgeable people also working on similar facts among not only teenagers, also people from different age groups. For example, pre-teenagers, infants, working adults, and say, for example, young adults, and as well as diverse background. So researcher found a lot of beautiful and potential people, a lot of beautiful researchers, wise researchers, so working on different age groups. So hopefully the researcher hopes that this study will be an eye-opener in the internet and telecom sectors of Bangladesh, and also not in Bangladesh. The research of this study can be used in other developing countries, just like Indonesia, Malaysia, and
Yeah,
other also developing parties, which who share the same socio-economic background, same culture, Islamic
same
culture.
Islamic
So
class.
yeah. So in which the researchers, practitioners, and other professionals will be encouraged as well as facilitated to work for this program as a group member, team
Yeah.
member.
So you like a suggestion or recommendation for the telecom sector or for the operator of the internet. So for this, you recommend it from the result of this research. Is it so nowadays that in Bangladesh, is it it's already like integrated or no? I mean the collaboration from the is there any collaboration between the university and the industry that so can in line was the to develop this like to make to reduce like online risk? Is it already
Yeah,
already
it's
conducted?
developing. It's developing. It's developing. The relationship is developing between industry and university. But as you know, in developing countries, it's a sad reality that it's in immature stage. Not
Um,
proper communication and proper understanding between industry and academia
yeah.
are not well developed, their relationships, but it's growing, alhamdulillah.
Yes,
And yes, the researcher already approached some policies and guidelines to the internet and telecom sectors for the, say for example, when they provide, before providing uh, internet access to the teenagers, so they should provide some restrictions, some ban, and some age filtering, and also some parental control software they should provide.
yeah.
So these are the guidelines the researcher approached them.
Okay, it's very nice and good. I think it can develop too in my country. So I think I'm very interested about the religiosity level. So did you like combine with that? Because I some maybe a week ago I discussed with someone that already conducted with the religiosity level. It's mean in a psychology sector is they call mudras. Muslim I'm not so clear so it's like
Yeah.
the how to what's to measure the religiosity or I don't know to connect. So I think it's I'm new to from this mudras how to measure about the level of the religiosity. So is it you based on this mudras I don't know the theory or you put the religiosity is just like is in general or maybe a certain you take from certain theory.
Thank you so much. Uh, Thank you so much. It's a very good question, Dr. Purutulaini. So, yeah, I put it till now as a different variable, as a different
Oh,
factor till now. But religiosity level may have a relationship with psychological factors, may have influence on psychological factors, or may be integrated with social factors as well. It's
oh,
under social culture, or
yes,
maybe
yes.
it can be put in socio-economic background, demographic factors as well, the socio-demographic factors. So it's a very good question. And you know, online is a complex phenomena of, say, for
Yes.
example, mixing with independent and different dependent variables. So this it's a very complex phenomena, and the researchers are not 100% clear about this phenomena, because if they were 100% clear about, then no problem would be there, all would be solved, but
But
it still is a problem. Yeah.
still
So
many
yeah,
problems.
it's complicated framework. Yeah, yeah, so it's a complicated framework, but yes,
Complicated, yes.
but I have considered till now at
Yes.
present as a
That's a make
different factor.
like differentiate with other research, you know that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
religiosity,
religiosity,
especially
yeah.
in Islamic country.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I measured it from two perspectives.
Okay, two perspective.
Relationship with Allah. Yeah, relationship with Allah. So
Yes,
here I use two questionnaire. Say one is, say for example, I follow the commandments of Allah.
yes,
Say for example, I do the fast, I do the
yes,
salah, I go
yeah,
to masjid there, I do
yes,
Hajj, Ramadan. It's, these are the things, and also and one from relationship with people,
oh,
muamala with
muamalah,
Allah,
yeah,
muamala with people. Yeah,
okay,
so muamala with people, say for example, I used also, say for example, two questionnaire, say I say, here the two questionnaire is, I carefully avoid shameful acts, I carefully avoid sinful acts,
mm,
I very much cautious about dealings with people. So from these two perspectives, I measured religiosity level. Muamala
okay.
with Allah, muamala with people.
So like hablum minallah and hablum minan nas, is that like,
Yes.
okay, okay. So two perspective. So I think it's very interested, Dr. Taslim Taher. So I think it's very nice if we, like the scholars from Islamic country, that we can collaborate and then do some research together. Is about how to like minimize this online risk. About now is everything is online, and then not only the uh, like a game, but the transaction, the finance, all the thing is become the online. So we have to like we as a Muslim have to know. So this uh, in line in that in our Sharia or not, just like that. So have to know that. So that's why that I think it's important to put the religiosity level in this research. So I think it's the conclusion. So the end of their presentation. Okay,
Thank you
so
so much.
well, you have like a plan to develop this research. Is that any future work of this research, or if many like students want to develop this research, which a part that we can or we could develop it?
Okay, very good question. Thank you so much for your valuable insight. Yeah, my humble opinion and my humble suggestion is, say for example, yes, I have done research among the teenagers in Bangladesh, but it's a simple case study. It's in Bangladesh, but
Yes,
the phenomena is global, and
yes,
the
the
teenagers
phenomenon.
all over the world, the yes, the teenagers all over the world are facing these difficulties. So we, the family members, the guardians, who are working in the government sectors and policy sectors, not in Bangladesh, also other developing countries, so should take it seriously. So
Yes,
should take it seriously. So the results of this study, yeah, can be used in other countries as well, and also say for example, uh, they can they can conduct quantitative study using large sample, more large
oh,
sample, say
okay,
1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 sample, using the clusters of the teenagers who are living in these, for example, based on demographic factors,
okay.
demographic regions, based on rural areas, who live in villages, who
Mm,
live in
mm,
semi-urban areas,
yeah,
sub-towns, who are live in big cities and towns. So we can divide the samples in this way, clusters, and
yeah,
also we can go for qualitative study as well to get the richer data, to get the
mm,
deeper data as
yes.
well. And also we can say, for example, we can, now my focus also is on teenagers, but it's a simple case,
Oh,
but
like what?
we can
The simple case.
means we
If
can shift
we,
our focus to other age groups, say pre-teenagers. Now in these
oh,
days, because now children from 4 or 5 years are having access to internet.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So 4 and 5 years boy, daughter can have access the internet. So we can study there. We can study young adults. We can study university students.
yeah,
So we can study working professionals. So yes, so we can shift our focus to that, those age groups too. So
yeah.
these are my humble suggestions.
It's your humble suggestion. I think it's a great information for students that to develop this kind of research. I think it's very nice and interested research in fact, because this phenomena like online research is very global. So we have to know like now it's become our concern is not like us as a researcher, but also the government to take the policy, the operator for the internet operator. So I think it's have to all the part of this country have to take a part, yeah, to minimize this online risk. Yeah, I think thank you very much, Dr. Taslim. That's very good explanation, and then your research, so we know more about the research already conducted in Bangladesh. So hopefully that we can share your another research for the next session or what. So
Please,
I hope
please
that, okay,
do. And also, I will keep you in my dua so that you can
okay,
proceed my
okay,
research as well.
okay,
Inshallah. May Allah make
okay,
it easy for
inshallah.
us.
Okay,
Inshallah.
thank you very much. Oke,
Welcome, brother.
demikian talkshow yang telah kami rangkum atau dipandu untuk istilahnya berikan sharing informasi tentang penelitian di negara Asia, ya. Semoga bisa bermanfaat bagi Anda semua dan tetap semangat untuk melakukan riset meskipun di dalam kondisi pandemi COVID-19. Oke, saya kira demikian yang bisa kami sampaikan. Wabillahi taufik wal hidayah. Kita akhiri dengan mengucapkan hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Okay, thank you very much for all the kind of you. Dr.
Thank you so
Taslim
much
Taher. Okay.
for giving us the time.
Okay, thank you very much and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.